What's up, guys? It's TRT77 again, and here I'm bringing to you my week 1 game from season 4 of the BDL versus Schulzy. Now, on your screen, you have the matchup we have this week. Um, Schulzy's draft is a little strange this season, and he made a lot of changes after this game, but the basic thing you have noticed it's a bit of it's a stall team. I'm not gonna be around the bush. It's a stall team. It's a stall team with Tundi and Volcanion and Hoopa, which is, I guess you can say semi-stall, more towards balance, but it's more or less a stall team with Pyukumuku, Umbreon, and Kosala. But at the same time, I think this is probably the best matchup I have ever had in draft leagues, considering I have multiple taunt mons, multiple mons that can sub on him, and Misty Terrain, which doesn't let him toxic my mons, which considering the fact I have mons like Feeny, Dusclops, which really don't get broken without status as well. It's very difficult. This matchup overall, especially with Scizor as well, is just a really difficult matchup for him. That being said, Chelsea is a good player, and I do not want to take this lightly. This game will be post-calm because I can't do live calm because I just go silent most of the time, and I just don't think it's quite. I don't think I'd do justice to it. And looking at his team, the first thing I noticed there is that he's got Mega Venusaur, Thundi T, Hoopa Unbound, and Volcanion as his offensive mons, along with Buzzwole. Let's not overlook Buzzwole. But considering Scizor gets dual wing beat now, I think it's less likely he brings Buzzwole as a check to Scizor. And then my other likely physical threat this game would be Victini, which also does a number to Buzzwole, so I'm not super expecting that to come. Mega Venusaur, on the other hand, I'm assuming he's probably bringing Mega Venusaur. He's bringing Hoopa because Hoopa, given the right set, Hoopa can actually OHKO every mon on my team, considering it gets Gunk Shot for Feeny. Choice Band Gunk Shot actually OHKOs Feeny. And it also has Hyperspace Fury, which goes through subs, which is actually great on this team, considering that a lot of the mons in this team are quite easily subbed on. And the other thing to look for is the fact that it does get coverage and Fire Punch for Mega Scizor. And in general, Hoopa is an all-round monster versus my team, so I'm expecting that. Volcanions also will likely bring, considering it's a very good B create switch in. The other mons, I'm just not. It's kind of a throw up between the other mons. I'm assuming Thundi T and Mega Venusaur show up primarily because of the fact that Feeny, they both hit Feeny hard. And as a result, the set I'm bringing on Feeny this week is Calm Mind, Stored Power, Substitute, and Draining Kiss. Now, Feeny getting Draining Kiss, basically, I feel like the fact that Draining Kiss recovers 75% of the damage dealt is amazing for it. It's almost like having an actual recovery move on top of Feeny. And the other thing is Stored Power is great because at +3/+3 with Calm Mind, I pretty much KO every known set of Venusaur, even the extremely SPDF ones. And looking at the rest of his team, they don't particularly. I'm not saying that I can OHKO a whole lot with the Calm Mind set, but 2-hit KOing pretty much every other mon at +6/+6, or the only mon being a threat here would probably likely be fully SPDF Kosala, which is to be expected to an extent because it does check Nidoking, it does check Feeny, it does check Serperior to an extent. The other thing to look for is also the fact that I have to maintain momentum against this team. I can't let him really get off a nasty plot with Thunderous. I can't really give him free turns here to just bulk up with Buzzwole, even though a bulk up Buzzwole is not particularly something I'm afraid of. So the 6 I brought to this game, and now I'm going to switch over to the replay, were Tapu Fini, Choice Scarf Physical Victini with U-Turn, V-Create, Bolt Strike, and the 4th move was in Reveal, so I'm not super... I'm not going to reveal moves that weren't revealed in game, considering it's a long season, and there's definitely certain tech I'd like to save for a few other players. And this was a D-Dance Life Orb Aerodactyl, considering it could KO or 2-hit KO every mon on this team outside of Pyukumuku. I thought it was a good bring just in case I needed to do just in case he got maybe a little too much damage in the middle of the game to Scissor or Feeney, and I just need a little bit of mid-game breakage or even a late-game cleaner, considering the primary weakness on his team being that his fastest mon is Thunderous Steed, which is 331, which easily let me run Adamant Aerodactyl. Then I had a Mega Scissor set, which was Max Attack Adamant, which had Max HP investment, but this was a week I did not run Roost, so it did not have recovery, which was a little bit concerning, but I felt like I needed all the move slots because I needed Bullet Punch in case Hoopa went crazy. U-turn is just good momentum. Dual Wing Beat hit Venusaur really hard, and Knockoff was there to get the Violate off of Corsola. Lantern was just a bulkier set. It was just meant to be it was especially defensive Lantern. It was basically just meant to be a check in case Thunderous got out of hand with agility, or maybe got if it was dual dance plus resist berry. Having that Volt Absorb, specially defensive mon, just to come in and do some damage. Lantern was probably like a really good check in this game, and it could still. I mean, it's not going to do a particularly huge amount of damage, but I feel like it was just a necessary pick for me in this game. And Serp here is a subset, a sub Leaf Storm set. I understand that sub is a little bit redundant against Hoopa and Bound, but considering the rest of his mons just let me sub up easily, I felt like this Serp set was really easy to bring, as well as the fact that it had Taunt on the set. And the last move on the Serp set, I'm gonna reveal this one. It was Hyper Beam. It was because if it came down to it, Serp at +4 could kill Venusaur after one Leaf Storm switch in. So it was just like I just didn't need the fourth move as much. I thought of putting Knockoff on there, but I just realized I would rather be I thought I'd just be a little bit more worried about Mega Venusaur, which was definitely coming, over Corsola, which possibly came. Now going into the game, I'm gonna just slow this down first. So he leads Corsola here. I lead Victini primarily because I have Scarf Victini, and basically, honestly, Tapu Fini with this set should, in theory, 6-0 this team. But I just did not want to risk having him send out Scarf Hoopa at first turn and have it Gunk Shot Fini for a lot of damage. I do not think Scarf OHKO'd Fini. I think it was a roll, which was in my favor, but it was not a risk worth taking that early in the game, so I just left Scarf Victini and I just thought, worst case, I can U-turn out. The only mon faster than me is Thunderous, and it does not kill me, plus I have the most direct switch in Lantern. So this was the safest lead in my opinion. Now, going on to turn 2, I just go straight into Fini here because there's nothing he can really do to Fini with Corsola. He can start Nightshading maybe, but I feel like this is an ample opportunity to start setting up. And he goes straight into Mega Venusaur, and I'm just thinking, yes, this is the moment. I just have to know one thing. I had speed on this Fini, but not too much speed. I think it hit 211, and I was just hoping and praying I'd be faster than this Mega Venusaur, because once I got a Calm Mind up, Sludge Bomb did not 2-hit KO. Once I got 2 Calm Minds up, it was a roll to break sub. So Fini is a broken mon, I feel, with Calm Mind now getting Draining Kiss and Stored Power, especially in the draft format, more than Ladder, I assume. So he just goes for the Sludge Bomb here, breaks sub. No, I'm not too worried at this point because one, his Sludge Bombs can't poison in terrain anyway. And there you see the second does exactly 25, which is actually a high roll to break sub. This was he actually had to get 2 high rolls there in a row to hit 25. So I just decided I'm just gonna Calm Mind here. I did take a risk here because I could have gotten poisoned. It's a 30% poison chance, but I felt like this was good for me. Now I'm behind a sub, and I just click Stored Power, and it knocks out Mega Venusaur. Now, that's a huge threat to my team gone, and he goes into Thunderous here. And he has to, because he has to break sub here. Because I'm pretty sure even if he has Hyperspace Fury, it did not do 24 to my Fini. And I would have killed it with Draining Kiss. So he thunderbolts, he breaks a sub here, and I just draining kiss, and I get more than half my health back. Now again he's gonna T-bolt here. I just decided not to sub, which I think was the right play considering the fact that he could have still just broken my sub right after that. And I did not want to be crit bait. That was the main thing for me here. It's just don't be crit bait. So we got rid of two of the biggest threats on his team in Mega Venusaur and Thundi T 10 turns in. And I thought this was... I genuinely thought, okay, right now maybe yes, not having a sub means he's going to go Hoopa, and he does. Now I'm just expecting the gunk shot, so I go straight into Mega Scizor. And now here I just get the freest Mega, but I chose to double into Lantern. I chose to double into Lantern to double check if he was choice locked or not, because if he was not choice locked, if he was Life Orb Fire Punch, it did kill Mega Scizor. So I doubled into Lantern to scout for the Life Orb Fire Punch. And here I'm able to, because the terrain's gone, I just took the opportunity to Toxic Pyukumuku. It's got the appropriate name for sure. So now again, I just go into Feeny here. Again, this is just set up fodder for me. So he has to go Corsola because I'm pretty sure Nightshade is his best way of breaking my subs. And here I'm just going to Calm Mind up. I may have misplayed this mid game a little bit with managing Corsola, considering that it does do a sizable amount of at least it breaks sub with Nightshade, and not all the mons in my team have a particularly great HP stat outside of Lantern to take Nightshade. Now again, I'm just gonna keep cycling in Feeny here until I can pressure in his Corsola and hopefully get some HP off that thing. Right here, the main thing I'm looking for is, I think, my best shot at just preserving the most differential in this game. And I don't usually think of preserving too much differential, but considering this is a really long season, a very competitive division, I thought maybe that would be the smarter thing to do here. But I let him get a little too much damage, and that does no... Training Kiss does no kind of damage to Corsola, which makes me think he's completely specially defensive here. And here I'm going to double into Lantern because Nightshade really doesn't do much to Lantern. It does 22. And he goes into Umbreon. I missed the Toxic, which did suck, but again, it didn't matter too much. It's Pokemon. These things happen. So I did Toxic it, but then he clicks Heal Bell, which is a really good bring, to be honest, considering that even though it was not likely that I would bring status on a Misty Terrain team, it's always good to have Heal Bell for your bulkier walls. But here I just get the opportunity to go straight into Serperior. I get the sub off, but then he goes Hoopa, and now I'm just thinking here that was a great play, because now he can kill me through sub with Hyperspace Fury. Even though I'm a bulky Serperior, he can kill me through sub. I'm a bulky Serperior mainly because I just have to hit 332 speed to outspeed Thunderous Therian. So this Serp has more than ample amounts of HP, and I'm pretty sure I was only 200. No, I was max special attack. So I had a sizable amount of HP on Serp. So here I'm just thinking, you know what, worst case, I'm just gonna go Lantern here. If Lantern's a sack, so be it. But he Fire Punches, which makes me think for a second, hold on, does he not have Hyperspace Fury, which is Hoopa Unbound's best Dark type stab in the game? Or is he, or physical Dark type stab I should say, or does he not know the mechanic about it bypassing subs? And I'm just thinking, do I risk getting a sub up the next time and staying in? So let's just see how this plays out. He switches out here, which leads me to believe he is choice locked, and based on that damage, he is choice scarfed. So now here, I go back into Feeny, and I make the double here because I know he's going to go Corsola. Now he goes Puku. I just U-turn out because at this point, I already knocked off its leftovers, and I figured he was not going to let Corsola stay in and take the knockoff. He would not have risked that play, and I don't think that would have been a very smart play on his part. So I just go into Serp here, and my best play here is to click sub. Now, here's where I have to make a decision. Do I stay in and risk him going for Hyperspace Fury and just assume maybe he doesn't know about the mechanic? Or do I switch out? So I just decide here I'm going to stay in. And he goes to the Zen Headbutt. And now I do the calc, and Zen Headbutt does not KO me from 69, and I'm faster. Um, and he's faster. My apologies. He's faster, so he's choice scuffed. Now we have confirmation that he's choice scuffed. So, but there is a flinch chance with Zen Headbutt, but I have 2 clear switch-ins to Zen Headbutt, so I'm not afraid. So I decide here, if this is a chance to knock out Hoopa, this is worth taking. 70% to not flinch, and it doesn't flinch. So we get that damage, and we do kill Hoopa. And now here, he's gonna go his... Now, I pretty much know this is definitely max specially defensive Corsola. But I did the calc on this, and +4 superior with max special attack timid is 87.5% to Oko Corsola Galar at 67%. I think the min roll was 65.8. I'm terrible at math. Don't hold me to the numbers, guys. But 87.5 is what my calc said, the max SPDF, and with the SPDF boosting nature. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go for it here. It's worth a shot. And we get the min roll. I mean, it is Pokemon. These things happen. I can't be upset. This game has gone well for me. And to be fair to you, like, even yes, it would have been nice to get a 6-0 here. I'm still preserving a lot of differential in this game. And here he's gonna kill me with Nightshade. Now I get to go into Feeny here because he's basically dead at this point. And I assume he's gonna go Pyuku. So I just Draining Kiss here, get some health back. And here I feel like I can just Calm Mind. And I feel he goes into Umbreon. Sorry, I do sub instead. He goes Umbreon here. I have to make a call here, and I just decide I'm just gonna get some HP back. And he does Wish, which does have me concerned because now I feel like I've just allowed him to get the Wish back into Corsola, which is at 2%. And now this is definitely my fault for doing that. But at this stage, it is what it is. I choose to Calm Mind up. Corsola does get the Wish back, and I'm just here. I'm just gonna get some HP back while he breaks my sub. And now I think here the play is clear for me to just go into Mega Scizor. Does 30%. And here I just get to knock off, but he stays in, which I'm assuming here he overpredicted and just went for the Strength Sap at this point. Because he didn't really have a switch into Mega Scizor at this point. And he couldn't... I guess he did not want to get... I mean, at the end of the day, I could have just U-turned on his Umbreon after knockoff, which would have probably killed. And... so here Scizor is going to take care of Corsola. And here I just get to dual Wing Beat and kill Pyukumuku. This was the one advantage of bringing dual Wing Beat on this set over Roost. Which I still think the better play was to bring Roost. And now his final Mon is Umbreon here. And I'm not going to risk anything here. I am going to U-turn out. He protects first turn to get some recovery back, which is smart. Now we get a sizable chunk on him and we just go into Feeny. And now I know for a fact that there's no way he can kill Feeny if I just get a sub up or if I just Calm Mind. And he hasn't shown Toxic yet. And he reveals his last move to be Foul Play. Now, Foul Play isn't doing nothing. And the problem is, though, my Feeny has next to no special attack investment. It has like 16. So it's not going to... You can see that. +2 is doing 34 to Umbreon. And... so this is definitely... at this point, I know I just sub here because I know sub is going to... he's going to have a tough time just breaking my sub. So as soon as Misty Terrain goes out... I don't know why I technically subbed there, to be honest with you, because I saw all 4 moves on him. So here, I'm just Calm Minding up so that I can just kill it, hopefully with 1 hit. But at this point, this game is done on the most part because he can't break Feeny, and Feeny is going to win this game now with Draining Kiss in the end. I feel like a whole part of this game came down to the fact that I brought the right Feeny set for his team. And the biggest problem for him was not having the appropriate speed tiers. It just let me run a lot of Mons. It let me run Adamant Arrow, which even though it didn't do anything in this game, it's still a problem when you have Mons like Serp and Arrow being able to either get bulky or run offensive boosting natures that aren't speed boosting natures. And then Feeny with very little speed, I think it may have been about give or take 60, outsped Mega Venusaur, which Feeney naturally outspeeds, but both Mons generally don't run speed. So I just had to run a little bit of speed to make sure I outsped Mega Venusaur so that it worked. I think this game went well overall. GG's to Schulzy. I'm sorry, dude, because this matchup was so hard to have first up, and I do not think I've had a better matchup in Draft League format, and this could not have been a worse matchup for Schulzy in week 1. But he did bring some cool sets. I guess Scarf Hooper was his way of dealing with Victini, but I don't think he really had anything much he could do about this game. So that's it for week 1 of the BDL. Hopefully I'll be back next week. Our week 2 game is against Primal Rush, and you can check out his team on the dock. He's got a scary ass team with Scale Shot Garchomp on it, with Mega Aggron, with a God of War that really cleaned up in his week 1 game. I'll link to his channel below as well, so you can check out his week 1 game. This has been TRT, guys. Hope y'all are having a good day. Catch you on the next one.